welcome back to my channel. So we've got a new today, we got a new vlog for today, and also this is the review, right? So this is the review of my Nintendo Switch 2. So after a couple of months, right? I think so. I forgot. I think 2 months, right? 2 months since I bought the Nintendo Switch 2, and let's go. We're gonna get over to it. So and also I'm gonna have to compare it also into my Nintendo Switch 1 also, which is there is really a big difference, right? So there is really a big difference for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 1 and the 2. Since I don't have the Switch OLED, since I was planning to compare it with an OLED, right? So because I don't have the OLED, so I still needed to buy the Nintendo Switch OLED, because I want to complete the lineup of the Nintendo Switch system, right? You know that, we know that almost we gamers, we gamers all usually wanted to complete the lineup, right? So other YouTuber gamers, right? So it was also me, because I am also inspired by one of the my favorite YouTuber gamers out there, right? So it's also one of my inspiration for doing this also is Sergio I am from It Came From a Box. So I already watched the videos of him. So okay, here we go, guys. So we're gonna get over to the first of the physical appearance of the Nintendo Switch 2, which is I'm gonna compare it also to my Nintendo Switch 1 of the physical appearance. So what is the big difference, right? So let's go gonna get over into it, and gonna have to check it out. And also I'm gonna have to change the angle of the camera so that you will see all of this of my own opinion, right? Okay. All right, everyone. So here it goes. So I'm gonna have to put it on this one, since my desk is, my desk already so small, right? So we got over onto the Nintendo Switch 2 right over here, since it is a bigger one, which is compared to this. Compared to the Nintendo Switch 1, which is released from 2017. So this is the version. And this is the version 2 of the Nintendo Switch 1, right? So since there are two, right? This is the V1 and the V2, but this is the V2, so this is the version 2. So I don't know what is the difference of the V1 and the V2, right? But it's still the Nintendo Switch 1 over here. So let's gonna get over to the physical appearance of the two. So yeah, here it goes. So since camera, my phone camera is not wide, so as you can see already clearly the difference, right? So we've got the different appearance, since the Nintendo Switch 2 is magnetic already, right? So just like the other, what is this called, just like the other console, right? So let's gonna get over to it, and gonna have to check that out. Look at that. So this is the this is the new features, which is the magnetic, right? Here it goes, which is the magnetic, and which is compared to the Nintendo Switch 1, and which is also into the OLED, just like this one, right? So you just have to pull it up, right? You just have to pull it up, so to take off the Joy-Con, right? And it's also for the kickstand of this one is also right over here, and which is also, you can see the micro SD card in there. So different, okay, they have a different Nintendo's memory card. So since the Nintendo Switch 2 is supported by the Express card, okay, which is the Express card cannot be used for the Nintendo Switch 1 and for the OLED also, right? So but unfortunately, this one right over here is, you can check here, right here is the kickstand, which is the backward compatibility, which is the U shape, and which is I forgot where, right over here is the is SD card, Express card. But since I still don't have the micro SD Express card, I still have to buy the micro SD card for my Nintendo Switch 2, right? So backwards compatibility is this one right over here, is the kickstand, which is the U shape, which is, I really like it the most when it comes to handheld right? When it comes to handheld, this is one of the good stuff of the Nintendo Switch 2. So get over to it. Let's go the big display right over here. So we got so sorry for the fingerprints of the white. Okay, so okay, I don't know where's my wipe. Okay, but I think still good, so apologies for the fingerprint that you see in the screen. So what over here is also, we've got the bigger shoulder button right over here. So we've got the bigger shoulder button, so we're good compared to the Nintendo Switch one right over here, which is yeah, look at that smaller shoulder button. And we've got the bigger, yeah, we got the bigger shoulder button right over here compared to the Nintendo Switch, which is also a small shoulder button right over here, right? So, and it's also, we've got right here for the face button. So let's go, gonna have to take a look for the face button of the two. Okay, yeah, so since I have you got that one right over here, so they still have the differentiate for this one. So right, they have that differentiate. So we've got the smaller face button right over here for the Nintendo Switch 1, which is compared to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is a bigger face button right over here, which is also a really great upgrade, right? Which is a really great upgrade for the face button, right? And it's also right over here is for the Joy-Con, is also, yeah, that really feels good and comfortable, yeah. And yeah, and it's also good right over here is, as you can see, all of this, yeah, they have a different there a color on it, but right over here is doesn't have a color, and you know, just like this one. And then also this one is a pretty good, I'm not gonna say a PS Vita, right? But you know, the style for this one is just like a PS Vita. So I'm not comparing for a PS Vita, but you know, this kind of Joy-Con feels like a PS Vita, right? So feels like a PS Vita. So okay, and let's get over to, and for this one, okay, for the one right over here is, we've got this, yeah, we've got the air ventilation right over here, right? We've got the game card, which is also, the Nintendo Switch 2 is supported also game card from the previous Nintendo Switch, right? So have to, the difference is you have to open it, you have to open like this one, right? And which you can see the game card right over here, but in here you just have to pull it up, right? Like this one, pull, and I'm gonna open this up for the Nintendo Switch 1, right? And it's also the same for this one. Is also, we've got right over here is the air ventilation, right? And also we got that air ventilation. We got the 3.5mm microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack, and we've got the another USB-C right here, which is not there's no USB-C, but just only one. Okay, and it's also for the volume button and the volume rocker, yeah, right over here, as you can see, yeah, power button. And then yeah, the circle button of the Nintendo Switch 1, but right over here is a different. We've got the level up for the power button. And yeah, I don't know what is this one, right, for the Nintendo Switch 2, right over here. I think that is the reset button, right? So I'm not gonna have to put to press that one. Right over here, there's no, right, there's still a screw on here, with a screw in a screw. So and gonna go to the bottom of this one, is we got some still, yeah, we've got the, yeah, I don't know, yeah. So the difference is for this one is also right over here is the speaker, right? The speaker for the Nintendo Switch 1 is right over here, but the speaker of the Nintendo Switch 2 is right over here at the bottom of the console of the system, right? And as well also, we've got this, what is this? Okay, I forgot. Okay, sa docking, for the docking support, yeah, if you can put this one over here into your docking station, right? And it's also, which is a really good, right? So which is a really good product. So let's get over to the user interface of the Nintendo Switch. Okay, let's go, gonna get over. So gonna get, I have to on display on for the Nintendo Switch, and the display for the Nintendo Switch 2, which is really big different, right? So here you go. So yeah, and then here we go. So what is the difference? Okay, we've got this different style of the, you know, you got the different style of the Nintendo Switch right over here, and then have to, yeah, gonna have to, yeah, look at that, nice. Okay, and it, which is, yeah, it's still the same if you want to use the, yeah, it feels good for this one right over here, and it's also a really good, yeah, a really good improvement for the Nintendo Switch, right? It is also I really like also the user interface for the device. So let's get over to the settings. Okay, settings. Okay, and then gonna go over to the setting for the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, and then here it goes. So as you can see, we still have the same. It still has the same, right? So we've got the airplane mode for the Nintendo Switch 2, is screen brightness, Bluetooth, internet, parental controls, accessibility, data management, users, controllers, and accessories. Audio, this, yeah, we get the audio right here. I think this one right here has an audio, right? So there's no audio for the Nintendo Switch one, right? And what's right here is the for the Nintendo Switch 2 has an audio is because there's a this C button right over here for the camera, right? So in which you can use this, in which you can use a camera for the Nintendo Switch 2, right? So, and then we've got this data management right over here for that. I forgot, 32 gigabyte of internal memory, right? So let's go gonna get over to the Nintendo Switch 2. So where's that data management? Okay, here it goes. The data management for this one is I think 64 gigabyte of internal memory, right? So it's upgraded, right? So it's upgraded for the 64 gigabytes, so it's only 32. So 32 times 2 is 64, right? So 32 plus 32 equals 64. So they just added more 32 gigabyte for this. This added more 32 gigabyte for a Nintendo Switch 2. Since I still don't have the express card, so I still gonna have to buy an express card, right? So yes, and it's because we got these controllers and accessories, but right here we got right here controllers and sensors. So we've got right here for the change grip, and also right over here for the Nintendo Switch 1, and we just they got a GL and GR button settings, which you cannot see that in the Nintendo Switch 1. Okay, so you cannot see that in the Nintendo Switch 1. Yeah, as you can see, there is no GL and GR button setting. So we've got the controller vibration, which is also right over here. We've got a calibration control sticks, right? And also we've got, yeah, they got the calibrate motion controls right over right also right here. And it's also, this is a big difference, right? We've got the update controllers, in which is you can update your controller, and we got the Joy-Con 2 mouse controls, as which you can see it in the Nintendo Direct from the previous, yeah. And it's also, you can disconnect controls, which is different, yeah. And it's, we got also gonna get over to the display, right? We've got the system square for the HDR output, but right here is a TV settings only. So we've got the TV resolution. Okay, let's go gonna get over to the, which is also supported as they are support for the Nintendo Switch 2, and which also for the for the resolution we got, I chose it automatic, right? So in which I will see that we got the 480, 720, and 1080. So right here is, you can click that one right over here if you want to click that, yeah. 720, 1080, 1440, and the highest is the 2160 pixels, right? So I choose automatic, right? I choose automatic. So we've got the adjust screen size, which is still we got some RGB range for this one, right? The two. And also we got the screen built-in protection, right? And much TV power state. So yeah, we've got still on into the, yeah, there's still more. Okay, we got the Mi, which is also right here. There's a Mi on it. Yeah, we've got the Mi, and also we've got the Amiibo, right? So it's still the same. Themes is upgraded, right? So we've got is still not upgraded. Okay, okay, oh, okay. So the Steam, we got a basic light in dark. Okay, we've got the notifications right over here. Yeah, and as you can see, like that. So we got, yeah, and then still, so the only one right over here is the notifications for completed downloads. Download complete notifications. Yeah, still the same. Yeah, it's also for the system right over here. Is we're gonna go get over to the system. Okay, we've got also I already the dock, and you can also, and which is you can also update the dock, right? So the docking station. Okay, so we've got the, for the Nintendo system, we got the 20.5.0. So let's go gonna get over. Wait, it's still the same 20.5.0 also, right? So update dock also right over here. Consoles name, and then also I got the Scotty Switch and also Scotty's Switch 2. So Scotty is our dog, right? Scotty is our dog, in which yeah. So sadly that she passed away, right, from last 2021. So yeah, that's why I always use the name Scotty. So Scotty is the name of our dog, right? And still the same for this one right over here. As you can see, console battery, USB keyboard. I think the USB keyboard right over here. Yeah. There's no USB keyboard, right? So okay, but you can use it as a dock, right? So as a mouse. All right. So yeah, here it goes. Let's gonna go back to this one, and which is also updated the Nintendo Switch 1, the Nintendo Switch OLED, and the Nintendo Switch Lite. This one for this virtual game cards right over here, right? So we got the updated version, which is virtual game cards right over here. We've got the controllers for the Nintendo Switch 2. We've got the game share. Okay, you can share game, right? You can share game. I think this one right here, we've got the same. We got the game share for the Nintendo Switch 1 also. I think this could, there's also in the Lite, is because the Lite, Nintendo Switch Lite is also having a update version, right? We got still the same album, Nintendo eShop, news, and then also we got the game chat and Nintendo Switch Online. So one thing I also found out for the Nintendo Switch 2 is when you are connecting into the Nintendo eShop, is you just gonna have to press that one right over here, and then here it goes, and then you don't have to what is this, you don't have to go your password, right? But in the Switch one is you have to direct what one. So it's still the same, loading for a couple of seconds, right? But unfortunately this one right over here is having, look at that. So sign in methods, you're gonna have to sign with the QR code or your password, right? So that is the difference for this one. That is the difference for the one also. And also we've got, okay, so we've got the D-pad right over here also. Let's go back to the main menu. Let's go back. So we've got the D-pad right over here as the same for the, gonna have to same D-pad. So bigger buttons for the D-pad, right? Bigger buttons for the D-pad. So yeah, smaller buttons for the Switch one right over here, which is also upgraded. This one is upgraded to a bigger one, right? So yeah, as you can see it clearly, right? As you can see it clearly, you can see that, you can see that bigger buttons for the D-pad in the Nintendo Switch 2, but the Nintendo Switch is a smaller one, right? You still got this one right over here for the line, and then we got also the screen capture and video capture for 30 seconds, right? So right over here at the side, we've got the home button right over here, right? So a home button, and then the newest addition is the C button right here is for the camera, right? And it's also a really good console if you want. So I really love the Nintendo Switch 2. And also I'm gonna have to get the Nintendo Switch OLED also, right? And it's also gonna be comparing. So I chooses the what is this, the system. I chooses the, what is this called, display for the automatic, right? So since, yeah, and also we get this adjust screen size if you want to connect it into a TV, right? Adjust screen size. So it's because when I connect it into a TV, it's so wide, right? So and then I can see clearly when I'm playing Pokemon Unite in the TV, right? So right over here is also, yeah, for the Nintendo Switch one. Okay, let's go gonna get over to the Nintendo Switch one, and which is also for the or is that for the TV settings? Yeah, we've got also the adjust screen size, right? You're gonna have to connect into a TV, right? So still the same screen burn-in reduction, which is still have also for the Nintendo Switch one also, right? Yeah, and it's also a really good, a really good upgrade. So there's a one YouTuber that, what is this? I forgot that. Yeah, he really likes the upgrade. He really likes the upgrade of the Nintendo Switch 2, right? And it's also right. I really also love the update of the Nintendo, right? For this Nintendo Switch 2, I think it compared into an OLED. So I think the screen is already an OLED, right? So I think, I don't know. I just don't know, right? So I'm gonna have to figure that out. So if that Nintendo Switch 2 is supports having the OLED, right? So we've got some games right here that is also compatible for the Nintendo Switch 2 from Nintendo Switch 1. So we got some games right over here that I already installed, but you know, I still doesn't have the Nintendo Express card, right? So I'm gonna have to buy, okay? I think I'm gonna go to the Walmart to buy for the Express card. So I think I'm gonna have to buy a 128 first. Okay, I'm gonna have to buy. So one thing I also like about is also the gameplay of the games when you are in a handheld mode, right? So the, yeah, really good, and it's also a really nice game. Okay, so let's go gonna get over. So I think uh over to the, what is this? Okay. Okay, so here it goes. So I think, yeah, I have the game card for my Pokemon right here. So let's go. We're gonna have to try. Okay, I already played this game, so gonna have to, yeah, you know. Okay, so let's go. Gonna have to try some games. Okay, here it goes, guys. So this is a really big upgrade for the screen, right? So let's go gonna get over to here, and yeah, I cannot. Okay, where is that? Okay, I'm gonna get over to this one right over here, and then, yeah, look at that. It is a really big screen for game if you are wanted to play via handheld, right? So let's go gonna, okay, weakness. Okay, we've got a weakness. So I'm gonna have to try that out. Okay, yeah, we go over to Shinx. Okay. Okay, go gonna over to Shinx for the Pokemon type advantage. Alright, so yeah, we've got right over here is a bigger screen for the, yeah, a bigger screen for the Nintendo Switch OLED, right? So no, don't do dare lose my HP. Okay, so we got the Thunder Shock for the Shinx. Alright, here it goes. Yeah, it's super effective, right? So yeah, and also, yeah, this is a bigger, you know, screen resolution. We got the, I think, OLED. This is an OLED, right? So I don't know. I'm not sure about it. So, but you know, this is a good one, right? So this is a good one. Okay, we've got the, yeah, good, and then also nice, and then gonna get over to this one over here, and then, yeah, let's go gonna have got a quick battle right over here. Okay, what's gonna be the Pokemon that he uses? Okay, challenge your youngster Logan. Oops. Alright, so Okay. Gonna have to try beautiful, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna run. Okay, there's no running. Alright, so okay, gonna have to end this game for yeah, again. Alright, so for the last, okay, let's go get over here. You're gonna use this star. Shinx uses tackle, right? So gonna get over to Piplap, okay. I'm using Piplap, okay. Okay. Water type, okay. Disadvantage to electric type. Alright, so what is this? We've got effective water gun. Okay, let's go gonna check it out. There you go. Alright, so she's fainted already. Okay, then let's go get, yeah. Bigger screen, right? We get a bigger screen, you know. Look at that. Bigger screen. A bigger screen for the Nintendo Switch 2, which is really, really impressive for this upgrade, right? So, yeah, and then gonna get okay, R to save. Okay, so we're gonna save it up. Alright, so let's go. Gonna have to go back. Okay, and then, yeah, here it goes. So this is one right here is also a really good, so let's go gonna check this out. Cover Fire, which is an offline first person shooter. Yes, and this is a really, really good, you know. We're gonna go to the campaign, so gonna have to try that one also. We got the volume right over here. Yeah, we've got some. Go to the easy one. Okay, this is the, okay, this is gonna have to, this is a hard one, right? So I'm gonna have to, oh, okay. Yeah, which is really, really good, right? You know that, yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay, where is it? Okay, there it goes. I missed it clearly, but yeah. Okay. Skip. Okay, let's go. Gonna get over to this one over here. Yeah, gonna have to go back for this one. Yeah. Here you go. And this one up over here. Get over to the head, right? There you go. And then we've got over here. Yeah. There you go. We got a headshot. Okay. We've got the headshot. All right, so we've got the headshot. Yeah, this is a really nice game. This is a really good uh, upgrade for the Nintendo Switch too, right? So yeah, a really good upgrade, right? So perfect, and also I really like it a lot also, right? So yes, that will be enough for the, yeah, that would be the review for my Nintendo Switch, right? So upcoming review is also for the Trim UI Pro, Trim UI smartphone for the upcoming review. Okay, so thank you so much, right? Thank you so much for watching. All right. So alright, so right, I think that's it, right? So I think that's it for today's video. So right, so final, my final thoughts about the Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, you've heard right. I really like it a lot. So especially in handheld mode, right? A really great, upgrade, right? A really great upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I really like it when I am playing handheld mode, right? So just like playing playing Overwatch, playing Cover Fire, Warface. This is a really good, what is this called? A really good improvement for the Nintendo Switch, right? So since most some of the YouTubers, right? Some of the YouTubers doesn't like the upgrade for Nintendo Switch because they are not, yeah, you know already, they are not, I think, what is this called? They are not, I don't know what's that word, so just coming out into my mind, but you know, I cannot say, right? But I think they just haven't had enough, right? It's because they really wanted more of it. So one thing I'm missing about the Nintendo Switch 2 is, I hope, one thing I hope before the release, right? One thing I forgot, wanted to upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2 is I wanted to customize wallpaper. So that is one thing I wanted, right? That is one thing that I wanted for the Nintendo Switch. Just like PlayStation Portable, right? So PlayStation Portable is you can customize wallpaper, right? But since they just only user interface of the dark and gray or dark and white color. So yeah, so that is one thing I'm missing about for the upgrade of the console, right? So, and it's also, I really wanted to make it, I really wanted to get, you know, the style of the style of the PlayStation Portable is in which you can also play music, play videos, right? But you know, there's already a YouTube. Okay, there's already a YouTube, but you know, playing watching videos offline, if you wanted to save, what is this called? if you wanted if you wanted to save video, right? If you wanted to save a video in the express card, you can watch it daily, you can watch it every time, right? Every time. And also you can listen to music via Bluetooth, right? If you want, if they, you know, that is also the one thing that I'm missing. So I'm not referring, I'm not referring to the, I'm not referring for the PlayStation 2, for the PlayStation Portable, right? So since I am also a big fan of the PlayStation Portable, in which I always play music. All right, from my PlayStation for my PlayStation PSP, for my PSP, I also play music and watching videos, right? But you know, that kinds of explanation that I think Nintendo Switch doesn't want to, right? Nintendo doesn't want to, but you know, it's okay for me, right? It's okay for me, and also I think all of you right there wanted more upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2, but yes, worth it, for me to buy, because I am saving it for these 2 months only, right? I am saving 2 months to buy this console, right? And which is also really worth it, and I really like it a lot. All right, so okay, that's it. Okay, that's it for today's video, and I hope you like it. And please don't forget to subscribe, and also click that notification bell so that you will notify all my upcoming future videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy, and see you guys on the next page. Revan Trim UI is the next review of the video. Okay.